just about to force it.
There you go. Fuck it. I mean, he's getting better by the game too, so you gotta press start though. Oh, okay, you already did. All right. Bloopers.
Welcome to the Takeover, Bonafide Takeover Sports. Here with your host T-Wil, the People's Coach, and your other host Bold Barry. All right,
no intro. I'm supposed to say something. Here we go. I'm here.
All right, so we're here to talk about early MVP predictions, and then we're gonna transition into the rookie report. So, in talking to my guy.
That's me, Bold Barry. That's me.
Some days.
Some days.
Talking to my guy. I have, so sometimes I hang with him too much, and his boldness and his, you know what I'm saying, his I get it kind of comes off.
Put respect on my boldness.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give my off the top of the dome early MVP prediction, and then I'm gonna give my bold T-Wil, the People's Coach. Bold T-Wil prediction. For me, the early MVP, Blake Griffin. That's the same response. Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin. He's looking like MVP candidate. He's just doing it all on the court. He's hitting the threes consistently now, which is crazy to me.
Which he was
averaging 2 threes a game. Yeah, and then and then, what I'm remembering, and just looking at it and seeing how he took what he used to do and it's evolved. Before Chris Paul came, he used to do this. Like he used to
bang on.
Yeah, he's bang on. He's I think I was talking to you off air, and I was like, he doesn't bang on anybody no more.
Mm-hmm.
And he banged on somebody.
Banged on Bold Barry.
Yeah, I was like, yo, okay.
It's like, he's back to like 2010 Blake. All right.
Yeah, so it's like it's crazy that now he's back to 2010 Blake, but he added a consistent jump shot to it.
He's got more versatility to it.
Yeah, so it's like scary. So he's my early MVP candidate. But now I'm about to put on the bold T-Wil, the People's Coach. You know what I'm saying? Put that on one time. Kyrie. People just shut off the episode right there. people just shut up. And then one reason why I'm saying this is because we just had our Celtics episode, and I'm sitting back thinking about everything, what he's doing, and then I didn't really harp on how is the game. His game itself has evolved from the way we've been talking about him before the season. I really do. I didn't like that when I read that in the article. I was like, who came up with this? But all right, they call it. Yeah, who calls him Kai-Me? But all right, I'm about to add some logic to this really bold take. You already know Kyrie can score when he wants to. That's not even a question. So let's put that over here. I've been saying before, right when we got him, and I've just in general, he's a better facilitator than people give him credit of being.
You got LeBron there, man.
Yeah,
that's the only thing
and he's showing that. He's putting up the best defensive numbers so far that he has in his whole career, averaging 2 steals a game.
Plus 25 with him on the court, and minus 11 when he's not on the court.
His past couple games, he's getting a block. The past 2 or 3 games, he's been getting a block every game, averaging 2 threes a game. Basically, he's putting up.
He's got Al Horford looking like a legitimate center.
He's putting up. All right, I'm saying people, you got to think logically when I say this, because I'm not saying he is this person. He's putting up Steph Curry-like numbers. Take away the threes. Steph Curry,
efficiency, plus minus and stuff like that.
Plus minus, defensive.
I'll help you
passing
out on that
the ball.
One. That was...
I was looking at you as well. I was like, okay, he's not feeling me at all. So I'm breaking down some more. No, okay, when I say Steph Curry-like numbers, take away, he's averaging 2 threes a game. I'm not talking about the threes. I'm talking about, what does Steph Curry do? He scores efficiently. He assists for his team. He facilitates.
He gets in the passing lanes.
He plays decent defense in terms of the fact that he's getting steals. What's the difference?
There's no difference. Kyrie likes coming at that guy a lot. So.
No, I'm saying what's the difference? Except that we know that Steph Curry is a lifestyle shooter. I'm not saying Kyrie's the shooter that Steph Curry is. No, I'm just saying Steph Curry light. Like just how we said Oladipo's looking like semi, like D-Wade. Light, like in terms of he's leading the team. Yeah. So I say all that to say that with I think his facilitating numbers can get even better because I feel like now there's a bunch of dudes that's not. He's passing the ball, but a bunch of dudes not finishing this. Marcus Morris is coming. He's gonna help out with that because I feel like
and then Hayward will be back at some point.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, hopefully, So you gotta look at all that.
It's developing. So,
and if he's leading his team to the number 1 seed, which I think he can, the number 1 seed again, just like IT did last year.
There's no
and
reason
IT
why
was
he
in
can't
the
be.
was in the MVP conversation when he led the Celtics last year. So
And
why
put up
can't
30.
Kyrie? Like, so I got Kyrie. That's my boy. It's not even bold no more after me just breaking it down like that.
It's
yeah,
just,
hey,
people might not respect it because Kai me, but Kai me. I don't believe in that.
Terrible.
Going off your MVP discussion there, I'm gonna add in Giannis, Greek Freak, Antetokounmpo into the mix.
Can't disagree with that.
He's putting up ridiculous numbers in the first 5 games. I believe he was the first player in NBA history, if I'm not mistaken, to put up 35, 10 and plus 5 or something like that. I don't have it in front of me, but he was the first player in NBA history to do that. And I know ESPN likes to pull up these random stat facts and stuff like that, which is cool because I found that pretty interesting because he is doing ridiculous numbers. But what he does with his team and as far as leading them in every category, every important category, the way he carries his team, even though I still think he didn't work on that jumper as much as he should have in the offseason. Especially when I watched how different he played against us the first game versus how he played the second game, where he was still going off, but once we forced him to shoot and just collapsed in the paint, he was either forcing it or missing, forced layups and everything like that. So I still believe that he has to work on his jump shot. But as far as the numbers go and how MVP awards have been won, I feel like lately it's been a popularity contest and stats. So it's gonna be Giannis for me. Bold prediction, but
I don't think that's bold.
Not bold, but because it all depends on record for me too. I feel like if they're not a top 4 seed, because I feel like they float around.
Westbrook got it, and they weren't
triple double historic things though. That's history. I had this debate with my boy all the time too. I feel like historic history versus James Harden, who should have got it based off the fact that his team was better and everything else.
Yeah,
that's just that overrides, and that's one of those things where if Giannis is making history, he's gonna get the MVP. But going back to my bold prediction on who could be MVP. Well, actually, that's not even my bold prediction. I actually agree with Tyreek's bold prediction. I mean, Tyreek's.
Go ahead.
Whatever. But I'm gonna go and say it's not bold and actually put that into reality a little bit, because at the end of the day, he's making his teammates better. We have these guys, the youngest roster, actually one of the youngest rosters in the league, and we're gonna be fighting for a top seed in the East, led by a young player in Kyrie Irving. Now, if he leads this team like T-Wil said, there's no reason why he can't be in the MVP discussion. But that's where I'm at with my MVP guesses.
Yeah. So now that you to kind of transition, now that you just said talking about the youngest team, we can go transition right into our rookie report, because I feel like one of the guys that his stock has really risen since the beginning of the season. In terms of the rookie ladder and who we are looking at in the rookie of the year contest is Tatum. I mean, Jason Tatum has his stock's really risen. So not to say that dudes, De'Aaron Fox is playing real well. That's still my guy.
Leading his team off and scoring off the bench too.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Dennis
Smith Jr. He started off kind of hot, but with all rookies, they hit that wall, the efficiency. So it's all right. He'll get it together. They always hit that wall and they'll figure it out. But Tatum has looked like one of the best. I'll go into somebody else after that because I know that was who you're gonna start. So I just kind of took yours.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I can.
But I'll let you kind of expand on. Yeah, I'll let you expand on you because you chose Tatum. I have a different guy in mind.
Tatum's definitely my clear runner-up for MVP. Sorry, Rookie of the Year, mainly because he's on a contending team and he's actually contributing. And he's effective. He's started off real hot, led our team in rebounding a couple of games. Actually was leading our team in rebounding for a few games. He's efficient. He's looking real NBA ready when it comes to, playing with the big boys. He's playing the 4, which in my opinion, I think he's playing out of his position. But with the direction of the NBA, it's small ball. So it's perfectly fine with him playing at the 4, considering that he'll, have plenty of mismatches, on the offensive end for him. Also, I'll put in there as my runner-up, which I've never mentioned before, but I'll have to mention it now.
Your guy, your homie?
The ball. I gotta put the ball in there,
I
man.
thought you about to say somebody else.
Nope, I gotta put the ball.
So you're just gonna be disrespectful. So I'm gonna let you go ahead.
I'm gonna be disrespectful,
Yeah,
but you have to look at the numbers. Like I'm gonna have to put Lonzo Ball in that conversation because before today, my man was averaging like, I believe, he was flirting with a triple-double. He was averaging like 10, 9, and 9. They dipped down to like 7.5 assists, 7.5 rebounds, but he's looking really good as far as being a facilitator. I'm not saying no
because of Lonzo. I've liked how Lonzo looked so far this season. So you're just gonna ignore Ben Simmons?
See, I was gonna get to that. You didn't let me get there yet.
I feel like if we're gonna have a conversation about a rookie, it has to be Ben Simmons for Lonzo. Like Ben Simmons looked like
but Ben Simmons has been in the league already and had the league. He had the league experience. Like he's been around the players. He's had the training. This dude Lonzo came fresh out of college and was like, all right, let me just start balling now. Ben Simmons had to sit out a year, still work out with the players, still train. All that plays a factor.
Ben Simmons is looking like what people expected Lonzo to look like.
Yeah, I would hope so. You sat out for a whole year, bro. Like, I get in for me. All right, since we on this dude. All right. Since we're on this dude, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like what he's been doing. Like, I've been a big, like, stickler on this dude. I'm like, look, this dude, man, he can't shoot for crap. Like, he can't shoot for anything. Like, free throws, he still can't shoot free throws. He still can't shoot. So I'm just like, all right, like, why do I need to get, like, you had all this time in the offseason, your real rookie year, because you didn't even play a single game in the NBA. Like, you just sat out. It was like, oh, your foot hurt, so, like, you just didn't play. So I want to know, like, what you've been doing all year besides passing the ball off the backboard to yourself and dunking at IG videos and, like, you know, just doing, like, oh, yeah, I'm venting now. and all this other stuff that we talking about. Like, he's a good passer. He's a rebounder. He's a good rebounder at 6'10". I mean, you better be a good rebounder at 6'10". And he drives to the basket okay for his size. Like, for his size, when I watch this, I mean, he's scoring, but, like, when I watched him play, I've watched him play a handful of times. So what I've seen on display is when he goes to the basket, he looks real timid at times. I didn't like the way he was going. Like, you can't be 6'10", going up and attacking the hole and be like, oh, let me throw this little floater and stuff.
18,
That's fine.
7.
That's fine. Once again, I said I've seen him play only a handful of times.
Oh, okay.
Right? But the things I've seen, I do not like it. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of him. But, like, I can't put him in conversation because I feel some sort of way, even when they did this with Joel Embiid. Like, I feel some sort of way when they give the second-year rookie guys the rookie of the year conversation. Like, they did it with Blake Griffin. They did it with a few people. And I'm not a fan of it.
But it's different because Blake actually played.
He played a preseason. Game. He played a preseason. He was hurt in preseason.
I don't know. I just feel like we're having a rookie conversation, and you bring up Lonzo. That's just such a like. Of course, Lonzo. Like,
I have to.
Of course,
I have to. I'm not saying he's gonna get it, but I have to bring it up over Ben Simmons, mainly because Ben Simmons. This is the second year of the league.
He's not.
He'll probably get him rookie of the year. He'll get rookie of the year.
The way Ben Simmons keeps playing the same way he's playing right now.
He's gonna look good.
I know you haven't.
I'm not a fan of him. It's a personal feeling on this dude, man.
This is disrespect.
Yeah.
But yeah. Please comment below on your rookie.
I'm gonna get so much for the Ben Simmons stuff.
On your rookie of the year. Your rookie of the year vote. Your early MVP prediction, we'd appreciate it. Please subscribe also. So catch y'all next time.
Follow us on IG.
Oh yeah, I forgot we got IG. IG for our IG page. Nice images.
Takeover Sports 617.
Hey. All right, catch y'all.